Are you tired of the constant weight of worry holding you back, feeling overwhelmed by tasks, deadlines, or just the sheer uncertainty of life? What if I told you there's a powerful, time-tested approach shared by none other than the legendary Dale Carnegie that can completely transform how you face your days, turning potential stress into opportunities and finding peace even amidst chaos? It sounds almost too good to be true, but it's rooted in simple, profound wisdom. Concepts like treating each day as a bonus or living within day-tight compartments. Stick with me until the very end, because the final pieces of advice build on everything before it, offering the ultimate key to not just managing worry, but truly preventing it from stealing your peace and productivity. In this video, we're diving deep into these practical strategies that helped countless people find calm and focus. We'll explore how consciously accepting the worst can actually free you to achieve the best, and why focusing intensely on today is the absolute best preparation for tomorrow. By reframing your perspective and mastering the art of being present, you can unlock incredible energy and a sense of accomplishment you never thought possible. Don't miss out on learning how to apply these life-changing principles to your own life. If you're ready to start living with less worry and more joy, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future insights on living your best life. The perspective of the day as a bonus. Building upon the principle of accepting the worst, Dale Carnegie offered a simple yet profound technique for applying this idea in a more everyday context, shifting our perspective to alleviate daily worries and increase our sense of gratitude and opportunity. This technique encourages us to mentally prepare for the worst possible outcome in a specific situation and then view any improvement upon that outcome as a bonus. This subtle shift in perspective can dramatically change how we experience challenges and tasks. Imagine you have a long list of urgent and important tasks you need to complete today. As you look at the list, you might feel a wave of anxiety wash over you. There's so much to do, the deadlines are tight, and you worry about whether you'll be able to get it all done. The sheer volume of the tasks can feel overwhelming, a source of significant stress and worry. The day as a bonus technique suggests a different approach. After making your list of tasks, take a moment to consciously and mentally accept that, at the end of the day, nothing on that list got done. Allow yourself to fully embrace this negative possibility. Imagine the consequences. Perhaps falling behind, disappointing others, feeling like a failure. Really confront and accept this potential horrible day. This might sound pessimistic, even counterproductive, but the purpose is not to become resigned to failure. The purpose is to disarm the fear associated with not getting everything done. By accepting the worst possible outcome, complete failure to complete the list, you remove the intense emotional pressure and the fear of that specific result. You have faced the monster and seen that while unpleasant, it is not unsurvivable. Now, after you have mentally accepted that bitter reality, ask yourself the crucial question: how can I improve upon this horrible day? This is where the perspective shift takes full effect. If you start the day having already accepted the possibility of achieving nothing on your list, then any task you complete becomes a bonus. Finishing one task is a bonus. Finishing two is an even bigger bonus. Every item you check off that list is no longer a source of pressure or anxiety, because you've already prepared for the possibility of not doing it, but a source of progress and positive feeling. Suddenly, that daunting list you were worried about is transformed. It's no longer a source of potential failure and anxiety, but a list of opportunities to earn bonuses. This reframing changes your emotional relationship with the tasks. Instead of feeling burdened by obligations, you feel motivated by the prospect of exceeding your mentally accepted, lowest possible outcome. This technique works because it lowers the stakes emotionally. By accepting the worst, you minimize the potential pain of falling short. This reduced emotional pressure allows you to approach the tasks with a calmer mind and a more positive attitude. When you're not consumed by the fear of failure, you are more likely to engage with the work. Stay focused and actually achieve more. Think about how much worry is tied to expectations, our own expectations and the perceived expectations of others. We worry about not meeting those expectations. By mentally setting the baseline at the worst possible outcome and accepting it, you are, in a sense, managing those expectations, at least internally. You are preparing yourself emotionally for the lowest possible result, which makes achieving anything above that feel like a success. This perspective also fosters gratitude. When you view each completed task as a bonus on a day you mentally prepared to achieve nothing, you develop a greater appreciation for your efforts and accomplishments, no matter how small. It shifts your focus from what you didn't do to what you did do, fostering a more positive and resilient mindset. Applying the day as a bonus perspective in daily life can be a powerful tool for reducing chronic worry about workload and deadlines. It's not about lowering your standards or becoming complacent. You still strive to complete your tasks effectively. It's about changing the internal narrative around those tasks, replacing the pressure and fear with a sense of opportunity and progress. By preparing for the worst and appreciating every improvement upon it, you can approach your daily responsibilities with less anxiety and a greater sense of accomplishment. Living in day-tight compartments. Beyond tackling immediate worries and preparing for potential negative outcomes, Dale Carnegie emphasized a foundational principle for preventing worry from taking root in our lives in the first place: the practice of living in day-tight compartments. This powerful analogy, inspired by the design of ocean-going vessels, provides a framework for focusing our energy and attention on the present moment, rather than allowing our minds to be flooded by the regrets of the past or the anxieties of the future. In the early 1900s, large ships were engineered with watertight compartments. The purpose of these compartments was simple but crucial. If one section of the ship were breached and began to flood, watertight iron doors could be sealed, isolating the damaged section and preventing the water from spreading throughout the entire vessel, thus saving the ship from sinking. This design was a safeguard against disaster, a way to contain damage and protect the whole. Carnegie proposed that we could apply this same principle to our lives and our minds. We can act like the captain of a ship, equipped with the ability to press a button and shut the iron doors on today's compartment, sealing it off from the worries and regrets of yesterday and the fears of tomorrow. The human mind, left unchecked, tends to drift effortlessly across time, constantly revisiting past hurts and errors or projecting anxieties into the uncertain future. This mental time travel is a primary source of worry. The past is gone and cannot be changed, no matter how much we replay events or regret decisions. Dwelling on it is unproductive. It merely consumes energy and breeds remorse. The future is not yet here and may unfold in countless unpredictable ways. Worrying about it is equally unproductive. It generates anxiety about events that may never happen or that we cannot influence in the present moment. Both the past and the future, when allowed to intrude excessively upon the present, can flood our minds with worry, overwhelming our capacity to deal with what is right in front of us. Living in day-tight compartments means making a conscious effort to confine your mental energy and emotional focus to the present day. It means dealing with today's challenges, appreciating today's blessings, and learning from today's experiences, without allowing the concerns of yesterday or tomorrow to seep in and contaminate the present moment. It's about being fully present in the now. To activate your own iron doors, Carnegie suggested two key practices. The first is a mental exercise performed each morning. Wake up and imagine you are beginning a new life. Imagine that your old self, with all its worries, regrets, and burdens, died last night. This morning is the first day of the rest of your life, a fresh start, unburdened by the past. This isn't about denying your history or ignoring the need for planning. It's a powerful mental reset, a conscious decision to leave the emotional baggage of yesterday behind and approach today with renewed energy and perspective. This daily mental rebirth is about consciously severing the emotional ties to past mistakes and future anxieties. It's about recognizing that while the past informs the present, it doesn't have to define it. And while the future is a concern, it can only be effectively influenced by actions taken today. By mentally declaring each morning a new beginning, you empower yourself to step into the day unencumbered by the emotional weight of yesterday's troubles. The second key practice is a simple but profound affirmation and commitment. If I take care of today, Tomorrow will take care of itself. This isn't an excuse for neglecting future planning. It's a statement about where to focus your energy and effort. The most effective way to prepare for the future is not to worry about it, but to make the most of the present. By concentrating your intelligence and enthusiasm on doing today's work superbly, you are, in fact, building the best possible foundation for tomorrow. A day lived fully with focus and effort applied to the tasks at hand is the most effective preparation for whatever the future may hold. Worrying about tomorrow drains the energy you need to make today successful. By sealing off the present day, you channel all your available resources, mental, emotional, and physical, into the only time you can truly act: now. The example of World War II, Navy Admiral Ernest King, illustrates this principle beautifully. As the Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Fleet and Chief of Naval Operations during the war, King bore immense responsibility for strategic decisions and the lives of countless sailors. The pressures were unimaginable, yet Admiral King was known for sleeping soundly every night. When asked how he managed this amidst such global turmoil and weighty decisions, he famously replied, "I have supplied the best men with the best equipment we have and have given them what seems to be the wisest mission. That is all I can do." Admiral King understood the power of the day-tight compartment. He focused on doing his absolute best that day, making the most informed decisions with the resources available. Once he had done everything within his power for that day, he released the outcome of tomorrow. He didn't waste energy agonizing over potential future setbacks or regretting past decisions. He focused on the present task of leadership, execution, and resource allocation. Because he poured all his effort into making today successful, he could let go of the worries about tomorrow, trusting that he had laid the best possible groundwork. Living in day-tight compartments is a discipline. It requires conscious effort to pull your mind back to the present whenever it starts to drift into worry about the past or future. But with practice, it becomes easier. It is perhaps one of the most effective strategies for preventing chronic worry by fundamentally changing how you relate to time and the challenges it presents. By focusing on living today fully and effectively, you build resilience, reduce anxiety, and create a more peaceful and productive existence. Focusing on the present for the future. The principle of living in day-tight compartments is inextricably linked with another core message from Dale Carnegie's work on worry. The profound truth that the most effective, and indeed the only, way to prepare for the future is to concentrate intensely on doing today's work superbly. This isn't just a time management tip, it's a fundamental philosophy for overcoming worry by anchoring your efforts in the only reality you can truly influence, the present moment. We often feel compelled to worry about the future because it seems so uncertain and full of potential pitfalls. We believe that by thinking obsessively about future problems, we are somehow preparing for them. However, this kind of worrying is not preparation, it is paralysis. True preparation for the future lies not in imagining hypothetical difficulties, but in building the strength, skills, and resources in the present that will enable us to meet whatever challenges arise. Carnegie put it succinctly: the best possible way to prepare for tomorrow is to concentrate with all your intelligence, all your enthusiasm, on doing today's work superbly today. That is the only possible way you can prepare for the future. This statement challenges our conventional notion of future planning, which often involves hours spent in anxious speculation. Instead, it redirects our energy to the immediate tasks at hand. Think about a student preparing for an exam weeks away. They could spend their time worrying about the difficulty of the test, the possibility of failing, or how their performance might impact their future career. This worry will consume their energy and make it difficult to focus on studying. Alternatively, they could choose to concentrate fully on studying the material today. They can review notes, work through practice problems, and seek clarification on confusing concepts. By focusing intensely on the task of learning today, they are actively building the knowledge and understanding that will be necessary to pass the exam when it arrives. Their diligent work in the present is the most direct and effective form of preparation for the future challenge. Similarly, in the professional world, worrying about future deadlines, project outcomes, or career progression doesn't make you more prepared. What makes you more prepared is honing your skills, completing your current tasks effectively, building strong relationships, and seeking opportunities for growth today. Every email answered promptly, every task completed thoroughly, every skill learned, every relationship nurtured. These are the building blocks of a successful future. They are all actions taken in the present. The power of focusing on the present is that it directs your energy towards productive activity. Worry is passive. It consumes energy without creating anything. Action in the present is active. It utilizes energy to build, create, and improve. By dedicating your full intelligence and enthusiasm to the work of today, you are not only accomplishing immediate tasks, but also developing your capabilities, strengthening your position, and laying the groundwork for future opportunities. Admiral Ernest King's approach to leadership during wartime exemplifies this principle on a grand scale. He was responsible for massive operations and decisions that had global consequences. The future of the war was uncertain, filled with potential disasters. Yet he focused on doing his job that day with the utmost competence and dedication. He ensured his men were well equipped and well trained. He made the wisest strategic decisions based on the information available at the time, and he executed his duties to the best of his ability. He didn't dwell on potential future defeats or hypothetical enemy actions beyond the scope of immediate planning. He focused on the present reality of leading the Navy today. Because he poured all his energy into making today's operations successful, he was doing everything humanly possible to shape a positive outcome for tomorrow. His ability to sleep soundly was a direct result of knowing that he had done his best in the present, making worry about the future redundant. When you concentrate on doing today's work superbly, you leave no room for the energy-draining habit of worry. Your mind is fully engaged in the task at hand, leaving less mental space for anxious speculation about what might happen later. This focused engagement not only makes you more productive, but also brings a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment, which further reduces the propensity for worry. Living in the present and focusing on today's work doesn't mean you shouldn't plan for the future. Responsible planning is essential, but there's a crucial difference between planning based on realistic assessment and possibilities and worrying based on fear and speculation. Planning involves rational thought and strategic steps taken in the present to prepare for future needs. Worrying involves anxious contemplation of future problems over which you feel you have no control in the present. By committing to doing today's work with excellence, you are building resilience, competence, and confidence, qualities that are invaluable in facing any future challenge. You are accumulating successes and developing skills that will serve you well regardless of what tomorrow brings. This is the true preparation for the future, and it is accomplished not through worry, but through focused, enthusiastic effort in the present moment. It is the most powerful way to ensure that when the future arrives, you are ready to meet it, not with anxiety, but with capability and confidence. Overcoming remaining worry through acceptance. Even after applying techniques to analyze immediate worries and focus on present action, some degree of anxiety might still linger. This is where the powerful principle of accepting the worst-case scenario, as exemplified by Willis Carrier, comes into full play, not just as an initial shock treatment for intense fear, but as a continuous strategy for dissolving residual worry. This method is specifically designed to eliminate the remaining percentage of worry that persists even after you have taken constructive steps. Let's revisit the idea. Worry, particularly chronic worry, thrives on uncertainty and the fear of potential negative outcomes. Our minds tend to fixate on the undesirable possibilities, magnifying them and creating a sense of dread that can be hard to shake off, even if we are actively working to resolve the situation. This lingering anxiety is often fueled by the gap between our desired outcome and the possibility of failure or difficulty. The technique to eliminate this remaining worry is to consciously and mentally confront the worst possible result and accept it. This is not about giving up or passively resigning yourself to failure. It's a deliberate psychological maneuver to strip the potential negative outcome of its power to terrify and paralyze you. By facing your greatest fear regarding the situation and accepting that it could happen, you essentially pull the rug out from under the worry. The what if is replaced by a mental, okay, if that happens, I can deal with it. Think about a situation where you've applied for a job you really want, or submitted a proposal you worked hard on. You've done everything you can in terms of preparation and execution. Now you're waiting for the outcome. This waiting period can be filled with intense worry. What if I don't get it? What if they choose someone else? What if my proposal is rejected? All that work will be for nothing. You've done the analysis, you've taken action, submitting the application's proposal, but the outcome is now outside your immediate control, and worry can creep in. Applying the acceptance principle means consciously thinking about the worst possible outcome. You don't get the job, your proposal is rejected. You allow yourself to fully contemplate this reality. You acknowledge the disappointment, the potential setback, the feelings of rejection. You mentally walk through what that would entail. And then you make a conscious decision to accept that possibility. You say to yourself, okay, if I don't get this job or if my proposal is rejected, that will be difficult, but I will be okay. I will survive. I will learn from the experience and explore other opportunities. By doing this, you rob the feared outcome of its power to hold you hostage to worry. The most terrifying possibility has been faced and deemed survivable. The fear of the unknown is significantly reduced because you have mentally prepared for the worst known outcome. This act of acceptance doesn't mean you want the worst to happen or that you stop hoping for the best. It simply means you are no longer terrified by the possibility of the negative result. Carnegie used strong language to describe the effect. Accepting the worst yanks us out of the great grey clouds in which we fumble around when we are blind by worry, and it plants our feet good and solid on the earth. Worry keeps us floating, in a state of anxious uncertainty. Acceptance grounds us in reality, even if that reality is potentially unpleasant. Once you have accepted the worst, a remarkable shift in perspective often occurs. The energy that was bound up in fearing the outcome is released. You can then ask yourself the crucial question that follows acceptance: how can I improve upon the worst? This question redirects your focus from the fear of the negative outcome to the potential for making things better, even within a difficult situation. If you've accepted that you might not get the job, you can then think, how can I improve upon that? This might lead to thinking about applying for other jobs, seeking feedback on your interview skills, or using the experience to refine your career goals. If you've accepted that your proposal might be rejected, you can think about asking for feedback, analyzing why it might have failed, or refining your approach for future proposals. This approach transforms a feared outcome from a source of debilitating worry into a starting point for constructive action and learning. It changes the narrative from, what if this terrible thing happens, to, okay, this terrible thing might happen, but if it does, here's how I can make the best of it or move forward. Eliminating remaining worry through acceptance is not about passive resignation. It's about active mental and emotional preparation. By consciously confronting and accepting the worst, you take away its power to control your present state of mind. This allows you to maintain focus, make clearer decisions, and be better prepared to react effectively, regardless of how the situation ultimately unfolds. It is a powerful tool for finding peace, even in the face of uncertainty and potential difficulty, preventing worry from creeping back. Once you've developed techniques for analyzing and handling immediate worries, and even accepting potential negative outcomes, the final challenge is to prevent worry from becoming a chronic habit that creeps back into your life. This is where the enduring practice of living in day-tight compartments truly becomes your shield. It's not just a method for crisis, it's a lifestyle principle designed to build resilience against worry over the long term. Worry is like a persistent weed. Even if you pull it out, its roots can remain, ready to sprout again when conditions are right. The conditions that favor worry are often a lack of focus on the present, allowing the mind to wander unproductively into the past or future. Therefore, the most effective way to prevent worry's return is to cultivate a strong habit of anchoring yourself in the present moment, day by day. The analogy of the ship's watertight compartments is key here. Each day needs to be treated as a distinct unit, sealed off from the emotional baggage of the past and the anxious speculation about the future. This doesn't mean ignoring lessons from history or failing to plan for tomorrow, but it means actively preventing the emotional weight of those times from flooding and overwhelming your present state of mind. The practice of living in day-tight compartments is an ongoing discipline. It requires conscious effort, particularly at the beginning of each day, to set the intention to focus solely on the present. As discussed before, the mental exercise of imagining each morning as a new life, unburdened by yesterday's troubles, is a powerful way to reset your emotional state and step into the day with a fresh perspective. This daily ritual reinforces the boundary between the past and the present. Furthermore, making the commitment to, if I take care of today, tomorrow will take care of itself, is a continuous reminder of where your energy is best directed. Every time your mind starts to drift into worrying about a future event or replaying a past mistake, you consciously bring it back to the present task at hand. This is like closing the watertight door whenever you notice water starting to leak in from another compartment. This practice requires vigilance. Worry is a deeply ingrained habit for many people. It feels familiar, almost like a form of self-protection, even though it is destructive. Therefore, breaking the habit and preventing its return requires consistent effort to redirect your thoughts. Mindfulness practices which train you to observe your thoughts without judgment and gently bring your attention back to the present moment can be incredibly helpful in strengthening your ability to live in day-tight compartments. Preventing worry's return also involves building a lifestyle that supports mental well-being. This includes prioritizing sufficient sleep, maintaining a healthy diet, engaging in regular physical activity, and making time for relaxation and enjoyable activities. When your body and mind are well cared for, you are more resilient to stress and less susceptible to falling back into patterns of chronic worry. Another aspect of prevention is managing your information intake. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with news and information, much of it focused on potential crises and negative events. While it's important to be informed, excessive exposure to negative news can fuel worry. Learning to filter information and take breaks from constant updates can help keep the future worries compartment sealed off from overwhelming your present peace of mind. Finally, developing a strong sense of purpose and engaging in meaningful activities can be a powerful preventative measure against worry. When you are fully engaged in work or hobbies that you find fulfilling, your mind is focused and energized in a positive way, leaving less room for anxious thoughts to take hold. Preventing worry from creeping back isn't about eliminating worry entirely, which may not be realistic or even desirable. A certain level of concern can be motivating. It's about preventing it from becoming a chronic, debilitating state. By consistently practicing living in day-tight compartments, focusing your energy on the present, cultivating a healthy lifestyle, and engaging in meaningful pursuits, you build a strong defense against the return of unproductive worry, ensuring that you maintain the peace of mind and focus necessary to live a full and productive life day by day. The power of present focus. Let's spend a little more time reflecting on the profound power that resides in focusing our full attention and energy on the present moment. In a world constantly pulling us towards anticipating the future or dwelling on the past, the ability to be truly present is not just a philosophical concept. It's a practical skill with immense benefits for reducing worry and increasing effectiveness. Dale Carnegie's insistence that the best way to prepare for tomorrow is to concentrate on today's work highlights this crucial point. The present moment is the only reality we ever truly inhabit. The past is a collection of memories, unchangeable and accessible only through our recollection. The future is a realm of possibilities, uncertain and existing only in our imagination. Worry, almost by definition, involves mentally inhabiting either the past, regretting what we did or didn't do, or the future, fearing what might happen. By anchoring ourselves firmly in the present, we step out of the arenas where worry thrives. When you are fully engaged in the present task, whether it's working on a project, having a conversation, enjoying a meal, or spending time with loved ones. Your mind doesn't have the bandwidth to wander into anxious territory. Your mental energy is directed outwards, towards the activity you are performing, rather than inwards towards fearful self-talk. This focused engagement is inherently incompatible with the diffuse, scattered nature of worry. Consider the experience of being completely absorbed in a challenging but enjoyable activity, something that puts you into a state of flow. In that state, you are so focused on the task that you lose track of time, your self-consciousness fades, and worries disappear. This is an extreme example of the power of present focus. While we can't be in a state of flow all the time, we can consciously cultivate a greater degree of present moment awareness in our daily activities. Focusing on today's work superbly means giving it your full attention and effort. It means setting aside distractions, both external, like notifications, and internal, like anxious thoughts, and dedicating your mental resources to the task at hand. This level of engagement not only leads to better quality work, but also provides a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment that acts as a natural buffer against worry. When you know you've done your best today, there's less fuel for the fire of worrying about tomorrow's outcome. The example of Admiral Ernest King is so potent because it illustrates this principle under the most extreme pressure. He wasn't just idly passing the time, he was making life or death decisions and managing vast operations. Yet, his ability to sleep soundly wasn't due to a lack of care for the future, but precisely because he poured all his energy into performing his duties flawlessly in the present. He maximized his effectiveness today, thereby maximizing the probability of a positive outcome tomorrow. His peace of mind was a byproduct of his diligent present focus. Practicing present focus is a skill that can be developed. It involves training your mind to resist the pull of distraction, whether it's dwelling on past mistakes or rehearsing future anxieties. Techniques like mindfulness meditation, focusing on your breath, or simply taking a moment to observe your surroundings can help strengthen your ability to stay anchored in the present. Furthermore, structuring your day can support present focus. Breaking down large tasks into smaller, manageable steps makes them less overwhelming and easier to approach. With focused attention, setting clear intentions for each period of your day helps direct your energy and prevents your mind from feeling scattered. The future will arrive, whether we worry about it or not. Our ability to navigate that future effectively depends almost entirely on the resources, skills, knowledge, relationships, resilience we build in the present. By focusing our intelligence and enthusiasm on doing today's work superbly, we are actively building those resources. We are honing our abilities, gaining experience, and strengthening our capacity to handle whatever challenges tomorrow may bring. This is the most practical and empowering way to prepare for the future, transforming a potential source of worry into an opportunity for growth and preparation. By mastering the art of present focus, we gain control not over the unpredictable future, but over our response to it, freeing ourselves from the shackles of worry and allowing us to live more fully and effectively, one day at a time. So there you have it. Not just theories, but practical, powerful ways to tackle worry, straight from the timeless wisdom of Dale Carnegie. We've seen how facing and accepting the worst-case scenario isn't about giving up, but about disarming fear and clearing the path for action. We've discovered the incredible freedom that comes from living in day-tight compartments, sealing off the past and future to fully inhabit the only moment you truly have, right now. And perhaps most importantly, we've understood that the absolute best preparation for whatever tomorrow might bring is pouring your intelligence and enthusiasm into doing today's work superbly. Imagine the difference these simple shifts in perspective can make, transforming daunting tasks into opportunities to earn bonuses, finding peace amidst uncertainty, and building a stronger, more resilient you, one day at a time. These aren't quick fixes, but they are foundational principles that, with practice, can dramatically reduce chronic worry and unlock your full potential. The journey to a worry-free life starts with a single step, or perhaps a single day, lived fully and intentionally. So I challenge you, pick one principle we discussed today, whether it's accepting the worst in a small situation or consciously sealing off your day-tight compartment tomorrow morning, and put it into practice. If you found value in these ideas and are ready to take control of your peace of mind, please give this video a thumbs up. Share your thoughts on which principle resonated with you most in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can keep building a life with less worry and more joy. Thank you for watching, and here's to finding your bonus in every day.